Hello, hi. Welcome back. My name's Claire and this is Peachy Keen Pans. I haven't posted in a fair while, so I did a couple of panning videos last year, and I've been overseas and then sort of getting back into the rhythm with work and everything now. So yeah, basically with it being now the start of March, I wanted to restart the Pan Those Eyeshadows project, and I think what I'm going to do this year is give myself a focus palette as well as part of that project. So that is going to be my Psyche's Box mini palette. Hopefully it focused, but yeah, basically this palette is pretty well beaten up. You can see I have used it a lot. Part of that is because it was the first rainbow palette that I bought, and because the pans are smaller, and then also the two missing shadows are not ones that I finished, they're ones that I didn't like the formula of, so I ended up using them in Franken makeup. So that one was a yellow and this one was a white. I mean, basically the Psyche's Box palette I think is really cool for just being so itty bitty. Like, even when I've had friends ask me to do colourful makeup at a party, something like that, I can bring it with me. It's so easy to bring. It's kind of, not what you normally find with a very colourful palette. And it's like the antithesis of my other rainbow palette, which is this bad boy, or big girl if you will. She's like the double-sided P. Louise palette. So yeah, I think the Claire Psyche's Box palette will be fun for me to pan this year, not with the intention of finishing shadows, or not necessarily. I will be rolling in, out of the 4 shadows that I haven't hit pan on in here, 1 shadow to focus on at a time. So you can see I haven't hit pan on the red, dark blue, black, and the grey. The grey I was focusing on last year in a project, so it has a fair dip in it. Oh yeah, and I forgot to say the dark green as well does not have pan. So yeah, aside from that, I have the rest of my eyeshadow collection off screen right here. Normally what I do, so I keep roughly a bullet diary, bullet journal. I do this kind of a thing every year. And because this year, as I said, I was overseas at the beginning of the year, I'm a bit kind of delayed. So this is actually my 2022 diary, because I haven't done one of these yet in my 2023 diary. So I'm going to use the kind of numbers that I have in here to inform this year's selection of shadows for this project. So I'm just going to check. I have 98 shadows in palettes, plus the ones in the P. Louise palette, which I believe is 36 in there. So that is 134. And then I'm just going to count through the rest to see how many singles I have. Okay, so 184 shadows. Maybe I'll do this one first to get her out of the way. So we're just going to go 1 to 5, and I will see what I get. Okay. I am using my laptop for this. I just use Google's random number generator. So I hope it's still exciting, but let me know if you'd rather see it on screen. Like, I'm just doing it off here and then I tell you what result I get. But if it would be more satisfying a different way, feel free to say so. Okay, so generating between 1 and 5, I got 2. So that's going to be 1, 2. So we'll focus on that dark blue. Okay then. I wonder what that will be like. I feel like using it as a liner is probably the way that that's gonna go. I did also have a look in mind for ages, I don't know why I still haven't done it, of like a kind of graphic peachy gold neutral shimmer all over, but then cut out, like carved out with a navy blue. This is kind of a navy blue. I could layer it with another more muted blue to get that effect. But yeah, there's basically no dip in this whatsoever. It is completely intact and has probably been used like less than 5 times in total. So that's a cool shade to start with. Let me just see the shade name. The mini version of that palette doesn't have the shade names. That is called, I printed it so small I'm not actually sure. Subterranean, I believe. Okay, we're on a roll. All right, next one. 125. Okay, let us see. Oh, I think that's from the Peel Louise palette. Kind of excited. 125. Okay. Oh God. Okay. I'm not sure how I feel about this one. It's fine. We'll make it back. Okay. So the color that I've selected is Free Yourself. It's this kind of deepish aqua teal. I mean, I say deep. That's probably mid-toned, but it's kind of a lot. I'm really curious how I'm going to use this because normally when I do use a color like that, I would use something lighter. But this is kind of in that mid-range. Again, maybe it'll be like, yeah, like I guess liners, graphic details, blended out with some lighter colors as well. I'll have to have a think about that. But basically so far we have a sort of mid to dark bright blue, a mid aqua slash mint slash teal kind of color. They're relatively challenging so far. There's obviously no dips because this is pretty much a brand new palette. Alright, let's see what's next. 152. Oh, okay. I actually think I'm gonna veto this next shade and I will show you why. So currently I have it in a custom palette that I built, like a Hogwarts inspired palette, and it is here. So that's Tea Garden from Colourpop, pretty iconic shade of a couple years ago. And the thing is, you can probably see here, but I already hit pan on this shadow, then dropped it, broke it, had to repress it. I don't think I want to pan it again. Having worked on it so much, like I feel like I've gotten a good amount of use of that. I think I'd like a new shadow to focus on. So I'm gonna re-roll. Okay, 140. 1, 2. Ooh, okay, cool. Oh, okay, this is a bit of a shame of mine and embarrassment at the moment. Is that I dropped this whole palette back in December and I haven't fixed it yet, even though most of the shades shattered and it got pretty badly messed up. So the shadow that I just rolled is this hopping shadow from Glaminatrix, and I suppose I should just take her out, at least fix this one. Maybe it is because they're kind of all in there together. I felt a bit intimidated and haven't gotten around to fixing them, but I will fix that one, and then I will also obviously get around to fixing all of these at some point. But it is a really pretty shadow. I will describe this one. This is a basically part of the Easter collection from years ago. When I say years, like 3 years ago maybe. An Easter collection that comprised of 6 pastel colors that all had a light gold flip, but a very strong gold flip. When I say light, I mean pale. So at the moment it is kind of cracked, and what I will need to do is just press that down, repair it, and then I guess focus on this one too. It is very pretty, and actually it goes quite well with that teal. I can make that work, I think so. The only problem I find with these shadows is that all 6 of them, because I did get the whole collection, my mum bought me that collection, it's very sweet of her, but the issue that I found was that they all look pale gold on me in the end. Yeah, I mean, to me, like, this will probably just look gold most of the time on me. These are fucking great for an inner corner highlight. Like, a classic, bright, shiny, pale inner corner. these shadows are the ones, the Easter collection from Glaminatrix. So I'm sure it will be getting a lot of use that way. Good. Okay, next one. Ooh, oh my god. Okay, this is proving a bit, intense. I just pulled the number 132, which is again from this P. Louise palette. Okay, look, I'm open to keeping this in here for a month and then seeing how I go after that. The shadow is No Doubts here. That is a pretty much like a bottle green, I think it's fair to describe it. Like a true foresty or bottle green. I mean, it's cool. Like, it's an interesting shadow. And I guess we have a green to gold shimmer, a teal, a blue, and now a green. This is getting weirdly green-blue vibes. I've never had such a cohesive draw before. I don't have a lot of hope that I'll get far with this shadow, but you never know. Maybe I'll love it, or maybe it'll be really low impact and I need to use heaps of it. Let's see what happens with that. I'm kind of hoping I get something a bit easier next, because none of these shadows have any significant usage in them. So next shade, 82. Where is that? Aha! An easier, well, I think an easier shade. Okay, here we go. 82 is in this palette, which is the Tammy Tenuka, or Sigil inspired by Tammy Tenuka, which is Bath palette. Or I think depending on how it's translated, it can be Enchantress's Bath. But I just love the concept for this palette, because like it has like the little iridescent, well not iridescent, the shimmery bubbles on the front, and the idea is that it looks like all the colours of a bath, like bubble bath. And so you have all the rainbow of iridescent shadows. And so I think of this both as a eyeshadow and a highlighting palette. And the one that I have pulled is this yellow shadow in there, which basically is just like a really pretty, very pale, quite bright shadow or highlighter. I think I would probably use it as both. Looking at it, it does not have the most kind of use so far in it. I think the pink and the peach have more use in here, but I think that this is a bit more manageable, maybe to hit pan in again if I'm using it in the inner corner slash as a highlighter. So this is 1, 2, 3, 4 shadow. Okay, that's all 5. Those are my 5 shadows. This is a challenge, and also weirdly cohesive though. Like, the thing is, I'm just kind of thinking through. I have a green, a teal, a blue, and a yellow. And the green shimmer also shifts kind of yellowy gold. So they all make sense together. The difficult thing is that I am about to start, I'm going to move up from doing 3 days a week of work to 5 days. I had a bit of a kind of transition period there for a while. These are not super work friendly. I mean, feel free to disagree or suggest how I can use them in a work friendly way. Maybe as a funky little eyeliner moment, some of these will be fine. But I guess we'll see. I'll let you know how it goes in a month's time. I am really curious, and I mean, I think in previous years I've gone pretty hardcore in terms of when I've allowed myself to roll a shadow out, and I think I've done either 30 or 40 uses minimum before rolling out a shadow if it is getting too difficult. And I think this time what I'll do is probably, I'm just thinking about it, either like 10, 15 or 20 uses. How about, let me know what you think is reasonable for these kind of colors, like bold, cool toned, in no way neutral colors. And I'll decide. I will make a decision before the next update. So now I will swatch them all out, show you how they look all together, and yeah, let's talk through the color story. Oh my god. Oh my god, like, what is going on here? Who has ever gotten such a cohesive set of cool tone colors, like blues and greens, in the Pen Those Eyeshadows project? I have had the weirdest combos in the past, and this is like night and day, like completely different. Okay, up close. Like, what is going on here? Isn't that wild? Even those two shimmers are like so similar in a way. I mean, obviously their base is different, but I don't even know how to respond to this. This feels like some like, yeah, underwater. This almost feels like a palette, honestly. Look at that. Incredible. So it's weird, it's bold. I'm about to start a bit more work, so let's see how I go with them. And I will update at the start of April. So, I mean, I will definitely give it my best shot. And yeah, this is just very cool and surprising. I was really not expecting that. Let me know what you think. Who would have known? Wow, wow. Um, in any case, thank you for watching, and I hope you enjoyed this. Let me know if you're doing the project as well. I do really like seeing other people's updates too, and if you have any recommendations, ways to use these colors, feel free to, yeah, put them through down below. And otherwise, I really hope you are all doing well. I hope you have capacity to take care of yourself and to do the things that you love and enjoy. And I'll see you either in a month's time or sooner than that if I have any cool video ideas and find the time for them as well. But in any case, you'll see how I go with this mermaid color story next month. All right, bye.